I'm not sure. I mean, certainly in Catholicism, I think people often claim the reverse. They tend to think, well, the emphasis on, say, having incense, having a lot of music, having bells, and so on. Certainly the sort of Protestant caricature of Catholicism tends to be that they indulge in rather a lot of sort of aesthetic, sensual things of that kind. I think so. Well, I mean, whether that's a valid criticism or not, I personally don't think it is, because I think those aspects of Mass are good. It's a good way of trying to get people into the right frame of mind. But I think more importantly, you can have kind of all of the aesthetic background you like, if sort of the core ideas don't speak to the people who are there, then I think it doesn't really matter what you do. You're not going to get people sort of moved in the right way and engaged in the right way. So I think it's perhaps less a matter of appealing more to aesthetic experience, although that might not be a bad thing. But I think it's more important to actually get people's minds interested. And I think often, certainly what in my own personal experience I've sometimes found off-putting in Mass is the sermon, because quite often the priest talks about things that nobody or very few people can identify with in the congregation. They shy away from certain topics that tend to be controversial and difficult for the church to answer, and so on. I've also been lucky and had very interesting sermons, so obviously it depends where you go and so on. But I think making those dimensions more appealing, getting priests to actually think of ways in which they can engage a modern audience. And I'm not saying they should necessarily pander to everything that the modern world is throwing at them. I'm not suggesting that. But I think finding a way of getting especially young people interested by engaging their minds is possibly more important than any of these other features, although I think those are important as well. And perhaps finally, but that tends to be a kind of money thing, as a lot of things are. I do think that having good music helps, and that if you have a very bad choir and so on, that isn't particularly conducive to getting you into the right frame of mind. But I appreciate that is often, that often can't be changed, because there simply isn't the money to do that kind of thing.